Chapters you write yourself, and the others kind of get written for you, right? Our next speaker kind of went through that. This is a story about new beginnings, community, family, and support. Ladies and gentlemen, Tech Sergeant Anthony Hawkins from the 4th AMXS.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
This is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. Tech Sergeant Anthony Hawkins. I'm originally from Sacramento, California. I joined the Air Force in 2002. I got married really young, right before I came into the Air Force. I had my first child. I didn't have her, but we had our first child, Haley Hawkins, there in March of 2003. Wichita Falls, Texas. From Wichita Falls, Texas, we went to Aviano Air Base. We were there for 3 years. At the end of that 3 years, my kid's mom got pregnant with Marcus. Marcus was born in August of 2006 in Phoenix, Arizona, Luke Air Force Base. Now, those are the kids, okay? The relationship went south quick and hurt. We were all there, and I tell this story because it's not just my story. It's mine, Haley, and Marcus's story, okay? Things were south, but we moved from Luke to Germany, to Spangdahlem Air Base. From Luke to Spangdahlem Air Base, Germany, in November of 2008. In September of 2009, I deployed to Lod Air Base, Iraq. I forgot. I'm back up a little bit. I was raised in a single-parent home my whole life, and they kind of prepared me for what I was going to go through later in life. So I deployed to Lod Air Base, Iraq in September 2009. I come back February 2010 to an empty house. Kind of sucked. Always promised myself that I would be the kind of dad that would always be there. So for me to be kind of forced into a situation where I couldn't parent the way that I wanted to kind of sucked. And I don't know if there's other dads or other parents out there that have gone through that, but it hurts. So came back to the empty house. In the spring of 2010, me and my mom made a mutual agreement that the kids would come and live with me primarily during the school year, and they would visit their mom in the summertime. Their mom asked me if I was going to be okay with that. And as a parent, I knew that I was going to be able to handle it. My mom, watching her raise me and my little sister, I had the tools to make sure that I was going to be able to take care of Haley and Marcus. But as a single parent in the Air Force, am I going to be able to be the best airman that I could possibly be? I had no idea. Is it really going to work? Can I still be in the Air Force and be a single parent? So, first thing I did was I went to utilize my chain of command. I went and talked to my supervisor. I said, Haley and Marcus are going to come back to Germany, and they're going to live with me primarily during the school year. They're going to visit, they're going to have summer visits with their mom, so they're going to be with me. I don't know what I'm going to do. And my supervisor, being a good dude that he was, the first thing he did was recommend that I go talk to the first sergeant. So I go and talk to the first sergeant, and the first sergeant says, well, Sergeant Hawkins, you're going to need a family care plan. I said, what in the world is a family care plan? He explained that single parents on active duty, mill to mill, if you guys are mill to mill out there and have kids, you know what I'm talking about, require a family care plan. And also, if you're a parent who has primary physical custody, but is not with the biological other parent, you still require a family care plan, right? So he gives me the family care plan. I look at this thing for the first time. I'm going to read the first paragraph to you because it kind of bugged me out. It says, I have been counseled and fully understand Air Force policy on family care responsibilities pertaining to the performance of military duties. I have read and understand AFI 362908, and that I must arrange for family care so that I will remain worldwide available as defined in 362908, and I must report for duty as required without my family members. I have made arrangements for the care of my family to permit me to be worldwide available during military obligations such as extended duty hours, exercises, unaccompanied tours, TDYs, alerts, deployments, PCS, PCA, or any other similar military obligation. I understand that I am subject to deployment on short notice, and I guarantee that I can execute my family care plan. So, the first time I read that, I was like, thank you, Air Force. It's like the Air Force was telling me, cool story, bro. You got kids. You still need to do your job. The mission comes first. Kind of made me feel a little awkward with taking on the kids full time by myself. But I used my network. I had friends at Spangdahlem that helped me out, that I was able to put on my family care plan. You have to have a short-term care provider that you can set a date or a time limit for, a long-term caregiver. You also have to have an alternate caregiver to your short-term and long-term. You also have to have a temporary custodian that you can grant for your kids to take care of them in case you become incapacitated. And because I was overseas, I also had to have somebody that would escort the kids back from overseas to home or to their mom, right? So stressing out, figuring out how to fill this thing out. I have the support in my local community to get the people that I need for this form. And the kids come out in the summer of 2010. It was an okay transition, right? We did all right. Okay. I definitely learned how to use my network within the base community, like the CDC, the youth programs. The Airman Family Readiness Center had a single parent network where us single parents met up once a month and talked about issues that we were having raising kids by ourselves on active duty, from dating to whatever disciplinary problems. So we were all really engaged with each other, and it was really cool to have that support within that community with people who were going through the same thing just like me. But with that, taking on the kids full time, I had some pretty dark days, and I don't know if there's other single parents out here, but moms sometimes overcompensate for not having a dad around, so they take on more of a father role. I did the opposite. So as tough as I tried to be with my kids, I overcompensated and kind of took on a more maternal, lovey, oh, come here, babies, kind of role with them, and they milked it, not gonna lie. With overcompensating for being by myself, I also spoiled the hell out of these two and took them all over the place. It was Disneyland, cotton candy, and rainbows, and about zero discipline. I fell into what I like to call the buddy trap. The buddy trap was my kids, my schedule, take them to jiu-jitsu, take them to basketball practice, cook dinner, make sure I read to them, put them to sleep, don't talk to me, my kids. And they were just all around me, and that's not a bad thing. I love them to death. But I overdid it. And so I cut like everybody off kind of and put them like a wall in front of me. And with that, they were my best friends, my best buddies in the whole world, because we were kicking it hard, right? Watching Boondocks, you know, doing all kinds of stuff that you ain't supposed to do with kids. I was doing it. We dressed up like the Boondocks for a Halloween one time. And Haley was Huey with a big old afro. I was granddad, had a wig, and Marcus had this braided up because he ain't got the hair. So he had to wear a wig that was cornrowed up with a gold chain and everything. Marcus was running around the base talking about, I'm young and crazy. Not the best parenting decisions, I'll admit. I fell into the buddy trap. So my network of friends and stuff, they noticed that I was making some mistakes. So they said, Hawk, you have to get back out there. And by this time, I probably had them for about 2 years before it kind of started coming to fruition or whatever with my friends and them telling me I need to get out, right? So I said, okay, I'll get back out there, start trying to date. I had rules. Rule number 1, you will never meet my children. I don't care how many times you've been out on a date, you cannot come to my house, you cannot stay the night. I will get a babysitter, I will meet you at XYZ, whatever, and we can go out on a date or whatever, but you're not meeting my kids. that worked for like a month or two. And then I met Michelle. Wave to everybody, Michelle. She's over there. And Michelle kind of forced me to put my guard down a little bit, and I fell in love. I brought Michelle around the kids because she needed to accept that about me. It's a great woman right there that would take on a duty with 2 kids. The kids liked Michelle. Michelle liked the kids. So December of 2013, Michelle's German. We moved from Germany to Seymour, right? And Michelle came on like a 90-day probationary period because I told her, if you're gonna come to America for the first time, like taste the milk before you buy the cow. So coming here, I was completely prepared to be a single parent again in case this didn't work out. So I redid my family care plan because I was planning for the worst but hoping for the best. You know what I mean? Luckily though, everything worked out and Michelle decided she wanted to stay. So we got married April 4th, 2014. So my story, the reason why I wanted to share this with everybody is because I wanted people to know that you can go through divorce and you can bounce back from that. You know, give it some time, let yourself heal, and you can bounce back. If you're a single parent on active duty, use your network, use your first sergeant, talk to your supervisor, use your friends. Be careful if you ever find yourself in a situation where you're a single parent of the buddy trap, and don't let your kids watch the Boondocks, because I still have problems with Marcus talking about, I'm young Reezy. And Haley's coming up sometimes and doing that whole Huey speech. I don't know if Ronald Reagan was the devil speech. She does that sometimes out of a good restaurant. It's crazy. But yeah, so I just want to come up here and tell that story and just kind of share that with everybody. You can bounce back from it. Use your network, use your resources. I want to thank everybody for your time. Thank you, Michelle. Love you. You're awesome kids. Best.